Hey, remember Galarian Slowking? No? Me neither. With everything in the original DLC trailer, I guess I wasn't paying full attention because for some reason, I thought we'd be getting Galarian Slowbro and Slowking in the Isle of Armor. But I guess it makes sense for it to be in the Crown Tundra because, well, you know, the crown. But maybe not. Usually, Slowpoke would evolve into Slowbro through leveling up and into a Slowking with the King's Rock. In the lore, Slowbro is obtained through Slowpoke's tail being bitten by a Shelder, and Slowking is obtained by a Shelder biting onto Slowpoke's head with a King Rock somewhere in there. Galarian Slowpoke is different. They have a different appearance due to a different diet. The berries they eat on the Isle of Armor causes them to become spicy. No, literally. They can even have moments of awareness and speed. It evolves after you give it the Galarica Cuff. Being bitten by a Shelder causes a chemical reaction with the spices inside of Slowpoke's body that causes it to become a poison type. We do know that from Slowking's Pokédex entry that it gains intelligence because Shelder bites into its head injecting toxins. So the spices in Galarian Slowpoke cause this type of reaction to occur throughout its physical body, giving it speed in the form of the ability Quick Draw. It's also mentioned that Slowpoke's tail normally secretes a sweet taste, which is why Shelder bite it. But Galarian Slowpoke is spicy, so I guess it ends up biting onto the Galarica Cuff on the arm, which they likely prefer. Alright, with all that complicated lore behind the evolution out of the way, now what the heck is going on with Galarian Slowking? This will be evolving from the Galarian Slowpoke, so it's still spicy, but obviously the King's Rock won't be playing a role in its evolution, as we have access to this item on the Isle of Armor and it does nothing to Galarian Slowpoke. I can only assume that there will probably be an NPC who crafts something like a Galarica crown, or even some kind of new crown that we find during an expedition, over in the Crown Tundra. It could even be something like a Galarian version of the King's Rock, having some sort of connection to whatever ancient rulers may have been around. It could be something made out of the Crown Tundra equivalent of the Armorite ore, so kind of like a Crownite ore? Anyway, I'm just rambling, but regardless, it will be an item that will cause Shelder to bite onto Slowpoke's head, and will have to be a brand new item introduced in the Crown Tundra. But just imagine a Shelder having a spicy reaction with a Galarian Slowpoke in the head. This would be some insane intelligence. But we do have a bit of a peek at Galarian Slowking, and it's somewhat obstructed. This was shown in the first trailer and is the only glimpse we've seen of Galarian Slowking, and like I said, it's obstructed for story and lore reasons, but we get a pretty good idea of what it looks like. From what we can see, the Shelder seems to be covering most of the head, and instead of its usual frill, it kind of has this evil looking cape. So then what if this spicy reaction isn't the supreme intelligence we'd expect, but that of an evil mastermind? Now I do like Galarian Slowbro's typing of Psychic and Poison, because it's used interchangeably as both Clara and Avery's signature Pokemon. But if Galarian Slowking was going to be the same type, why not introduce it in the Isle of Armor, and give Clara the Slowbro and Avery the Slowking? Maybe it's because Galarian Slowking is actually a different type, maybe a Psychic Dark type? Now of course I just said that the spices in the Shelder added a poison typing, but we really don't know what will cause the Galarian Slowking evolution. So some new item could definitely cause some different interactions. If it's some kind of item charged with whatever max energy is surging throughout the Crown Tundra like we've discussed, it could definitely have some sort of dark influence when mixed with Shelder toxins and Galarian Slowpoke spices. And wouldn't that just be so cool? We've already got Slowbro going from slow to fast with its regional form. Why not have Slowking go from kind to evil? And while it's not necessarily in the same canon as the games, we've seen in the anime recently just how insane the Shelder crown can make you. Just imagine what would be unleashed with the spicy cocktail that is already Galarian Slowpoke. I have no doubt that it'll be played up some way in the story, since we as the playable character will be brought to the Crown Tundra to explore all of its mysteries. And likely there wouldn't be many Galarian Slowpoke that have already been exposed to the variable that would cause them to evolve into a Galarian Slowking, since they all live on the Isle of Armor. Though it does look like there will still be some purple coloring on the tail and arms, so it might just end up maintaining the Psychic Poison typing. But of course the whole evil mastermind Slowking is just an idea, mostly because it almost straight up looks like a vampire from what we can see. I mean, they'll already have the teeth, so why not just make them sharp? But I would so love to see its true hidden potential be unleashed. I couldn't even begin to think of what crazy new ability it would have, but it seems like we'll just have to wait until the next trailer for the Crown Tundra. But anyway, let me know what you think, what's going on with Galarian Slowking and Slowbro as Slowpoke It's hard. It was honestly hard recording the audio for this because I kept getting the names mixed up, even though I had a script that specifically said either Slowking, Slowbro, or Slowpoke, and then Galarian versions of all of them. It's difficult, but let me know what you think about the Galarian Slowking and what's going on with it, what we'll see of it in the Crown Tundra, and just the evolution line as a whole. It's honestly pretty weird, pretty interesting. I was reminded earlier this week that yes, they actually can de-evolve if the shelter falls off the tail of the Slowbro or the head of the Slowking, which is, you know, completely something else on its own field, I guess, a discussion for another day, maybe. I don't know if the Galarian variants can do that and what the interactions are, especially with the spices and the toxins, because, you know, it's so weird, and especially in the anime and how all that connects. But I mean, regardless, let me know what you think down in the comments below about this really weird Pokemon and what you'd like to see going forward in the games for it, and you know, everything else as well. If you've got any ideas for other topics in the Crown Tundra I should discuss, let me know, because honestly, there's a lot that we could discuss, theorize, think about, wish for, and, you know, all that stuff. So again, you know, I read your comments all the time, so that'd be great. If you enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like and subscribe to show your support. You can enable notifications by clicking that bell icon next to the subscribe button. This will make sure you see each new video as it comes out, and will make you a member of the Chainlink Squad. Anyway, this has been GatorEX. Have a nice day.